The mountain had been asleep for longer than humanity had memory. Mount Aegis, wrapped in clouds and ash, was just another wound on the planet's surface, a scar that no one dared to touch. For centuries, it had remained silent, its molten heart buried deep under the crust, where pressure whispered like the breathing of a buried god. But tonight, the mountain dreamed. And in that dream, something ancient opened its eyes. Deep beneath the mantle, far below the reach of drills or sensors, lay a chamber of molten rock unlike any other. It was vast, a cathedral of fire and stone. In its centre, half buried in obsidian and cooled lava, rested a shape that once had a heartbeat. Bones fused with minerals, scales like iron plates, a rib cage that glowed faintly, as if the heart within was remembering how to burn. Then came the sound, a low vibration, almost too deep to hear, that rippled through the Earth's crust like the first sigh of a storm. At the Aegis research outpost, the alarms came alive. Dr. Lira Hensley rushed into the control chamber, still wearing her lab coat over half-buttoned clothes. The monitors glowed red, seismic readings climbing, pressure rising, temperature peaking in erratic pulses. "Another tremor?" asked her assistant, panic in his voice. Lira leaned over the console, frowning. "No, this isn't tectonic." She pointed to the wave pattern on the screen. Rhythmic, heartbeat-like. "It's alive." They stared at the monitor as a second pulse struck. The lights flickered. The room shook. Somewhere beneath their feet, the earth exhaled. Miles below, the chamber of fire cracked open. Lava surged upward, rolling like liquid muscle. The creature's head, massive, jaw lined with serrated teeth the size of blades, twitched. Molten rock dripped from its jaws as it exhaled for the first time in millions of years. The magma pulsed in time with its breath. The ancient guardian of flame had returned, Moltenclaw Spino, the last of the fire titans. The volcano split in half. Rivers of lava spilled into the night as thunder roared overhead. Entire mountainsides collapsed, hurling boulders the size of buildings into the valley. The sky turned blood red. From within the inferno, a silhouette rose, enormous, reptilian, wreathed in molten light. Each step it took melted stone beneath its claws. Its spine glowed like a line of living magma, casting an orange halo that could be seen for miles. At the research station, Lira stood frozen before the window, unable to breathe. The cameras melted. The heat scorched the sensors. Yet through the smoke, she could see it. That burning shape, that impossible creature walking out of legend. "God help us," she whispered. "It's real." The beast turned its head, glowing eyes piercing through the storm, as if hearing her voice. Then it roared, a deep, shattering cry that rolled across the mountains and echoed into every sleeping soul across the land. Every volcano in the world trembled in answer. The age of fire had begun again. The eruption ended the world's silence. Ash fell like black snow over half the continent. Planes vanished from the sky. Cities lost power. And in the smouldering heart of the valley, the creature of fire kept moving. Slow, unstoppable, ancient as the planet itself. In the city of Alaris, hundreds of miles away, no one believed the first reports. "Volcanic lightning," the anchors said. "Gas explosions." But when the horizon began to glow crimson and the ash clouds blotted out the stars, denial turned to fear. Dr. Lira Hensley hadn't slept in 36 hours. Her lab had been evacuated, her data half corrupted by the quake. She sat in the back of a military truck, staring at the faint orange glare rising in the distance. "Ma'am, we'll reach command in 10, the soldier said. She barely nodded. Her mind replayed the images. That living wall of flame, the heartbeat pattern on the monitor. It was no natural phenomenon. At the Alaris command center, chaos reigned. Dozens of screens flashed satellite feeds and heat maps. A red dot, massive, pulsing, moved slowly toward the coastline. General Vance turned as Lira entered. "Dr. Hensley?" Tell me this isn't what I think it is. She met his eyes. If you're thinking it's a creature, not a volcano, you're right. Murmurs filled the room. Someone cursed under their breath. Vance leaned forward. Then what is it? Lira hesitated. How could she explain what even science had forgotten? We found fossil records beneath Aegis last year. Too deep, too preserved. I thought it was a Spinosaurus variant. But the bone structure was infused with crystallized carbon, like volcanic glass fused into DNA. It wasn't a dinosaur. It was a weapon forged by the planet itself. The room went silent. Project Moltenclaw, she whispered. That's what the ancient inscriptions called it. A guardian born of fire to restore balance. When the world grows cold. A tremor ran through the floor. The screens flickered. Satellite feeds zoomed in, a colossal shape moving through forest and flame, lava trailing in its wake. Buildings crumbled as it passed. Lira stepped closer. It's searching. For what? Vance asked. She swallowed. Something that woke it. Something buried deeper than we've ever reached outside. The air turned metallic. The city skyline glowed dim under a blanket of ash. Sirens wailed. People rushed into the streets, faces hidden behind masks, watching the horizon bleed orange. And then, a sound, not thunder. A roar that seemed to tear the world in half. Glass shattered across the city. Birds fell from the sky. Children screamed. From the sea of smoke beyond the hills, a shape emerged, taller than skyscrapers, spine blazing like molten rivers. Each breath sent plumes of fire into the air. Moltenclaw had reached civilization. Artillery fired. Missiles streaked upward, tiny sparks against a sun of living magma. They exploded against its scales with no effect. The beast didn't even slow. "Hold fire!" Vance shouted, realizing the futility. "You'll just feed it more heat." But it was too late. Every explosion made the monster glow brighter, its roar louder. The energy only fueled the fire inside it. Within minutes, the northern district became an inferno. Streets melted into rivers of glass. The skyline bent under heat waves. Lira stared, eyes wide, whispering to herself, "It's not here to destroy. It's purging." "What do you mean?" Vance demanded. "It's cleansing the earth. The way nature burns a forest so new life can grow. We woke it by disturbing the core. Now it's trying to heal the planet. By fire." As the realization struck, something else happened. The tremors stopped. The sky cleared slightly, revealing stars through the ash. Moltenclaw paused, lifting its head toward the heavens as if listening to something ancient. In that silence, Lira felt it. A pulse beneath her feet, deep and rhythmic. Another heartbeat, not the same as before. Different, stronger. She turned to the general, her voice trembling. "There's another one,"